20 minutes later than normal time, and I'm an hour and 20 minutes later than what I usually go live. Sorry about that. Husband had doctor's appointments. We're still trying to get established here. We're doing all the things. So this is going to be quick, but very in depth. All right. So today I've titled it Revelation. Why would I title it Revelation? Because we're going into Revelation today as part of we're going to be talking about Lucifer today. Oh, lovely Lucifer. Lucifer's responsibility was for worship. That's what Lucifer was created for. He was created with the archangel Michael, and let's focus on Lucifer. His responsibility was to worship God. That's it. And it says that his body was made of like pipes and the like organ type things. He was he was as an instrument, all these instruments and like pipes going through. He was this beautiful, the most beautiful of the angels, right? And his job was just to worship God. First of all, let me just pause right there and say, isn't that our job? Just saying. So, with Lucifer's responsibility being to worship God, what are you listening to? Think about it. If he was in charge of worshiping God and he was a musical instrument, why do you think the secular music attracts us so much, makes us feel angry, makes us feel lust, makes us feel, whatever, like shaking your butt, which I don't know, it might not be a very good thing, right? It depends on, well, y'all get what I'm saying. The music we listen to impacts us. It's a whisper from Satan if it's worldly music, right? So let's move on. Why does certain music make you feel that way? So first of all, the first sin to ever happen was not Adam and Eve in the garden. The very first sin ever actually happened in heaven. Lucifer got a glimpse of himself and he was like, well, I look good. Right? He started getting this arrogance about him. Then the second sin was him going around whispering in all the angels' ears saying, I'm going to be better than God. You watch, I'm going to be better than God. Now, this is my layman's terms, okay? So he's walking over here and he sees this guy checking him out and he's like, hey, angel, I'm going to be better than God. I'm going to be bigger. I'm going to be better. Look at me. I'm beautiful. I'm going to take over. Right? So think about this. You're in heaven with the Creator. And an all-on war breaks out because of Satan whispering in the angel's ears saying, I'm going to be better than God. So this all-out war happens. Now, if Satan can tempt angels in heaven with the Lord, with his musical body, with his worship, you don't think he can tempt you and take you away through the worldly music that we have today? Come on, get a grip. We need to know what we're listening to, not just music, television. We need to know what our ears are hearing around us. We need to be aware. We need to really pay attention. Satan he's a slippery little sucker. He can weave in all those little cracks here. Oh, it's just one song. I used to listen to it in the 80s. I love it now. So, it's just a song. Is it just a song? Okay, so Satan thought he was better than God, and this all-on war breaks out, and God says, not in my house. And they say that Satan hit the ground, was shot out of heaven, and hit the ground like a lightning strike. And as it speaks of in Revelations, it speaks of the dragon. Okay, that's as Satan came down, the tail came up and took out a third of the stars, it says. A third of the angels. When it says it took out the third of the stars, it was talking about the third of the angels in heaven. His tail swiped out and came down with him. So a third of the angels that Satan had whispered in their ear, and they started believing in Satan instead of God, all came. Who do you think is roaming this earth today? They became demons. They became worshipers of Satan, and they've been bound and gagged, removed from heaven. And they are walking this earth today, giving you the music of their master, enticing you with their master's beauty. Doesn't this look good? Doesn't this guy look good? Go flirt with him. Doesn't this song, doesn't it remind you of your childhood when everything was so easy? It's talking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll. We really have to think about what we are doing. Just sit back and think about it for a day. So in Revelations, we're going to read Revelations 12. We're going to start in verse 7. I'm not particularly sure where we're going to stop. I did know, but now I feel like I don't know. So let's just read. Revelations 12, verse 7. I'll let you know where we stop, Dana, so you can put it in the comments. Thank you so much. And war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon. Okay, so Michael, we know Michael was the good angel. Michael and his angels fought with the dragon, the serpent, the beast, Satan. And the dragon and his angels fought, but they didn't prevail, nor was a place found for them in heaven any longer. Now, when we get to heaven, we don't have to worry about it because we've walked the earth in righteousness. So once we get to heaven, that's it. The Father's not going to let any of this ever happen in heaven again. So we just need to walk our righteousness here on earth. So when we get to heaven, we are there to worship our Father forever. We're going to make mistakes here. But if we don't have the knowledge of what is causing those mistakes, how are we going to even work at not having those mistakes, right? So let's read on. So the great dragon, we know that's Satan. So the great dragon was cast out, that serpent of old called the devil and Satan, who deceives the whole world. He was cast to earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Then I heard a voice saying in heaven, now salvation and strength and the kingdom of our God and the power of his Christ have come. For the accuser of our brethren, who accused them before our God day and night, and he has been cast down. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony, and they did not love their lives to death. Therefore rejoice, O heaven, and you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and the sea, for the devil has come down to you, having great wrath, because he knows that he has a short time. So, Dana, the last verse was verse 12. So we read verses 7 through 12 in Revelations 12. Revelations 12, 7 through 12. Okay. It says, I mean, we just read it. For the devil has come down to you. We are roaming this earth. The Lord cast him out of heaven, slammed him down on earth, like lightning and took a third of his angels with him. Now, who is on earth already? Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve were here. And so as soon as he was cast down, he's probably more bitter and more angry and more jealous of God and said, watch, I'm going to take everything. I can still be the one. And went straight to Eve and said, did God really say that? Or did your husband Adam tell you that? Because I don't think that you're unable to eat this fruit. The minute he hit the ground, he started causing havoc. You think he's let up at all? He's still trying to take everyone he can to the pits of hell with him. He knows he cannot defeat God. Now he knows this, but he doesn't want you to know it because he wants to take as many people as he possibly can with him to the pits of hell. You know, if you got a last place losing team playing against an undefeated team that's twice the size, twice the strength, twice the everything, that smaller team doesn't go out onto the field and go, what's the point of playing? We're just going to get our butts kicked. Let's just forfeit. No, they still go out there. They still struggle. They still do what they got to do. Even though they have no thought or chance of winning, they still go do the work. But see, here's the thing. We as the players, we know that if we're doing the work, our eyes on the prize, which is Jesus, we will get the reward of heaven. And then we never have to worry about him roaming around us again. We got to fight. We've got to play. We've got to get in there and do our due diligence. Rejoice, O heaven, you who dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of earth and sea. What is that actually saying? The death and resurrection of Christ is the basis for a victory over Satan. Therefore, children of God need not fear the ultimate death, separation from him. Because it's referring to the second death. For their salvation is secure. We need to live in our salvation and not this garbage around us in this world. That's what I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed. So sorry we were so stinking late, but you know, things just can't be helped. And I don't even feel bad about it. You know, husband has doctor's appointments. I've got to take care of him. I'm being full-time caretaker for 100 people. So it feels like I got to do what I got to do. And I know you're going to be here loving me when I do come on. And you can always watch the replay. You all have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow with Dana. I love you all so very much. Think today, what is going in my ears? What am I actually looking at? Get your eyes in the Bible and your ear in some worship. I love you all. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.